had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire an energy vampire. But also, they're a literal vampire. And suddenly, my team is spending all their time sharpening wooden stakes and buying bulk silver and rehearsing ancient chants, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant takes insights from over 1 billion professionals to create a short list of the best fits for you. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
Mega is an improvised satire from the staff of a fictional megachurch.
We are here, Lord, we are here, and we're ready to podcast.
Hiya, I'm Hallie Labont, and this is Mega, coming to you from Twin Hills Community Church, where every single week we're giving our mega church a tiny family feel. We love to introduce you to members of our church staff and people from our community, and I always find it to be a treat and a treasure. And per usual, I'm joined by my co-host. He's the youth pastor for our high school ministry called Climax. Please welcome Gray Haas.
I've got a feeling that Christ is healing me. Hallie, how are you?
Oh, I'm so glad to hear it.
Yeah, and I'm sorry about whatever's going on with my eyes and skin. We had our winter baptisms that were happening in the jacuzzis out back. Really bad case of folliculitis going around, and everyone is just absolutely destroyed by this stuff. And so I'm sorry. I'm not breaking out. This is actually a disease, and it comes from having, a bunch of dirty teenagers who didn't take baths getting into hot tubs. But sorry about that.
Well, winter baptism is blessed, and I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you. I mean, I actually feel okay. It looks horrifying. I can't, and that's why I'm wearing a face mask. And this is one of my ice friends gave me this. This is not, for sickness.
And just for the listeners out there, it's not a face mask like you wore in COVID. It's a face mask like you wear when you're, robbing a bank.
That's right. Well, I can't wait for our next guest.
Well, just like Jesus is towing people right out of the grips of hell and into the gates of heaven, our guest today is towing people for Christ. It's my friend Marley Crackers. How you doing today, Marley?
Well, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, this is great.
Awesome to have you, Marley. Now, people will know Marley because when you show up, usually it's in the parking lot during service, and you are helping us get rid of people who don't stay between the lines. Isn't that right?
That's right. You all have painted the lines very clearly in the parking lot, and there's lots of signage all over the place. I know people don't like to see me coming. Hopefully they enjoy me more as a guest on your podcast today.
That's right.
Yeah, you're I always get so happy when I see you out there. I always wave to you when I'm getting my steps in out there in the parking lot. I say, hey, Marley. I've never been towed, so I only associate good things with you. I know some people feel surprised and saddened and even, frustrated when they get towed during a church service. But you know what? I say you got to think of that before you just so haphazardly go into a handicap spot, or before you, just sometimes I see people are driving, parking right there in the roundabout that's for drop-offs. Am I right?
They do that. That is one that is a constant problem. They're blocking off the ways to and from in case there's an emergency in the church. Someone has a fall down or a heart palpitations or whatever's going on. They need to get out of there. We need to have those emergency vehicles cleared.
Yep.
Also, you've got the reserve parking, Hallie, so you've got your own spot.
Yep.
I have had to tow vehicles from your spot.
That's right.
So that you can get into there because you deserve that privilege. You work there, you have that space, you deserve that spot.
And
Thank you,
I mean,
Marley.
we have posted signs that say, this is not our responsibility. You could be towed if you're going to the come and go across the street and then you park over here, not going to the church. I mean, there are a lot of people that will just try to use the parking lot. And I would say that your response time is what? Probably under a minute or so.
Oh, yeah.
I do prowl. I prowl the lot. I do take a look. I do have some spotters out there with me. I've got my kids walking the lot. If they
that's who those are.
That's right. And if they, they wear the day glow vests, and if they see someone not walking straight into the building, they're going any which direction other than straight into one of the buildings on the complex, they'll send me an alert on the walkie-talkie.
And do you ever have a problem, or have you ever had a problem with people saying, hey, I got towed and I wasn't meant to be, where's my car? Because where do you take the cars, and what happens if there is a mistake, or has there ever been a mistake?
Well, I do encounter that roughly 100% of the time. Every
really?
person who gets towed believes that it was an error, that they didn't deserve to be towed. I have an impound lot that's about 17 miles away from the church there, and we have to store those vehicles there. Once I get them up on the lift, then I assume responsibility for that vehicle. I take it back where I've got to go. If someone catches me while I got their car on the lift, I offer them, they can pay me $200 cash, and I'll drop it right there.
Yep. Yep.
If not, I take it back to my lot, and they've got to get over there. It's going to cost about $500.
Yep.
What happens if you keep your car too long in the impound lot?
I try to be generous. I give everybody 24 hours for free on the lot, aside from that towage. And after that, I start charging a daily rate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think people just, when they get upset, they need to change their perspective. Because I say, look at it from your car's point of view. It's going up on a lift. That car is getting a once in a lifetime opportunity to sort of fly, like we were promised in Back to the Future would be happening by now with all of our cars. And so,
Yeah, why didn't that happen by now? I really
know.
felt like flying cars would happen by now.
Well, that silver one in the Michael J. Fox movie, it did fly. That one is
Did it?
capable of flying. So if you can make one do it, I don't know. I can't believe Elon hasn't made them all do it by now.
One of my favorite movies, a great Australian movie, was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and that was a flying car, and that was in the 1700s or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that'd make my job a lot easier if these cars could fly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, how would you tow a flying car?
Yeah.
I feel like you could just attach a string to it and carry it like a balloon.
That's true.
I mean, I have so many specialized equipment because so many of these pickup trucks are all-wheel drive. I can't tow a car that's in, fully parked, and I can't pull the wheels. I've got to he'll lift it up, put dollies underneath it so no tires touch the ground.
Oh, okay.
It takes a lot of specialized equipment to get these big trucks in and out of these parking lots. If I could just push one at zero gravity, that would make my job pretty easy.
Lot easy.
Have you seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
I don't think I have. You said that's an Australian film?
Oh, it's amazing. It's such a good movie. It's about a guy who has a flying car and he can talk to animals.
Oh, really?
I've been watching Heated Rivalry. Have you seen that?
No, what's that?
What's that?
That's this Netflix show. It's about these hockey players that fall in love. It's really messed up my brain.
Fall in love with who?
Well, with each other.
Oh, no.
Two hockey players who are fellas?
That's
Two
absolutely...
men hockey players. That's
Oh,
right.
I don't think
One
that's a
of them's One of them's
fiction.
a man and the other one is too. You find out.
Well,
Really?
and they know how to play hockey?
I mean, it seems like it. They barely play. It's mostly it's like some sort of a romance between men.
Oh, I
Is it?
think
Yeah, it seems like that should be called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
I'll tell you what, I honestly do think, see, it's total fiction, A, because B, I think playing hockey and being gay are mutually exclusive. I don't think you can do both, honestly, quite honestly.
Well, they did some Hollywood magic to make it seem like they could, because there's a lot of hockey. Well, less hockey than there is.
Black people?
Well, there's not a one. I don't think there's any of those. They have
No, I don't think anyone's ever been black and played hockey.
There's some
As far as I've seen.
mixed race ladies on the show, but for the most part, all the men are white, and two of them have sex.
Oh my
It's just-
goodness, does this
Why
mean
do
I
you
gotta
gotta put it in?
boycott Netflix?
Yes, you just why do they have to put it in our face? They just put it in everything.
Well, what they're trying to do now, sadly, Netflix is trying to indoctrinate our kids. And so what we got to do is tell them what to believe and make sure that they stay in our belief system and really learn how to, proselytize and evangelize others to do the same. Otherwise, they're going to get indoctrinated.
That's right. You park in your assigned space.
It all comes back to
That's
parking.
what it comes
doesn't
down
it?
to for me, right? We've got lines that you've got to park in.
Yep.
You've
That's
got
right.
directions of traffic that you're supposed to follow. And if you're not doing that, there's going to be a problem.
That is
Wow.
true. It is really true.
Año Nuevo, los mismos Extra Value Meals en McDonald's. Ahora te puedes llevar 2 snack wraps y papitas y una bebida mediana por solo $8. Solo por tiempo limitado. Precios y participación pueden variar. Los precios pueden ser más altos en Hawái, Alaska y California y con entrega.
Oh, such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Visit Blinds.com now for up to 45% off site-wide, plus a free professional measure. Rules and restrictions apply.
Well, thanks for alerting all of us to watching out for that on Netflix. And also, I just wanted to thank you, Marley, because I get piping mad when somebody goes in my reserve spot. When I pull up, I almost slam right in the back of their cars when they park in my space because I'm not ready for it. I'm just pulling in. And when there is a car there, boy, do I get so hot under the collar. It really gets my hackles up. So I do apologize if I'm usually screaming when I call you. It's not you, obviously.
Oh, and I completely appreciate that. That's, you have every right to be upset.
Yeah, it's the callousness that people have. And we get, I'd say there's an ambulance here per every weekend. We got 5 services per weekend. I'd say there's an ambulance there at least for 3 out of every 5. I mean, we have a congregation, that though young, does still have a lot of heart conditions,
Right,
and we use a lot of strobe lights,
We are
too.
still in Indiana.
I did have to tow an ambulance out of your reserve spot once.
That's right.
That is right.
That's
I remember this.
They were telling me this is an emergency. We were just here for, 2 minutes. I say, it doesn't matter if you're here for 2 minutes, 2 seconds.
Yep.
That's not your name on that spot.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And I think it's so cute. You got your kids out there working with you. I mean, for when you have 6 children, you might as well put them to work. That's what Indiana, became a state because, the reason people had children was to work on the farms. And so the fact that you got them working in the parking lot is great. And I always know if it's a cracker out there, one of your kids, because your children, all 6 of them, look exactly like you. It's a mini-me situation.
It is a stair step right down, and all in the blue zip-up jumpsuits and the neon vests.
It's like a Russian doll thing.
That's right. They're, and one of those hockey players is Russian too. And tell you, his accent is attractive. It's enticing. It's one of the slipperiest slopes of that show is how their voices are great.
Russians are, whoa.
Well, to hear these masculine voices, saying sweet things to each other, it's such a, I've never heard such a thing before.
Yeah.
One man says, I love you, and the other one says, I love you back. I've never heard 2 voices talk to each other like that.
I know. Teach a man to fish.
Confusing.
So you start to think to yourself, is that possible? Is that a thing that it seems okay in this show?
Yeah.
It seems okay. They're not suffering any bad consequences. They seem enriched by each other.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, this makes me angry.
Well, I'm very surprised to hear that a Russian is gay. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, I thought they had that figured out over there. They let everybody know that wasn't all right.
Yeah, they got they're all standing in soup lines and they're upholding communism. Who's got the time for homosexuality?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I guess you could just figure that if you're playing that much hockey and you're going head to head that much, you're probably brain damaged. And that's what it all comes down to is it's a bit of brain damage.
They got hit with the puck too many
And then you get confused.
Times. Yep. They got pucked too many times. Yep.
One too many pucks.
That seems, that's possible. I haven't, they don't really bring that issue up at all.
Really?
But I guess maybe that's one of the underlying reasons for it.
So you have 6 kids. That's got to be
that's right.
That's busy.
I say sometimes one Halloween we went as the Evolution lineup.
That is
That's
funny.
hilarious. That's awesome, Marley.
Yeah, we looked enough alike, even though, we were sort of satire. I haven't come to a conclusion on evolution or not, but that was just the thing that had, 6 things in a line, so we could do that all together.
Well, luckily, I can tell you it's wrong and it's dumb. So don't even worry about investigating that because I've done a lot of reading about it.
Yeah. Well, I think you were working the lot. You weren't here for our last atheist believer debate, but boy, of course the believer just smacked that idiot down like so easily. But one of the things that the believer did concede during the debate was that God has an ordained microevolution that happens.
Yeah.
There's a microevolution happening, and that's why you'll see, tiny things like, an appendix not being necessary anymore and stuff like that. But there wasn't macroevolution because, it's just scientific fact that God created everything in 6 days.
Right. I guess there's some of that I don't understand.
Yep. It's a mystery.
Yeah, it's not really worth it. I would highly encourage you to go to Evo Con, which is an interesting debate series that they have every year at the Indianapolis Colts Arena. And last year I saw Kirk Cameron debate Bradley Whitford. And
Wow.
it was, Bradley Whitford got absolutely destroyed.
Oh, wow.
And, they bring in a bunch of con men who think, evolution is real.
Yep.
And then you've got some of the sharpest, best minds in America just absolutely demolishing them. It was like going to a professional wrestling match, but with brains.
Oh, that's very interesting. I am not a professional debater, but I do get into a lot of arguments.
Oh, really?
I wonder how I would do in that sort of a situation. My job is mostly people are angry with me and they're telling me why they don't, they deserve to not have to pay the fee to get their car back or why their car should be where it is. And
yeah,
I've got to deal with that a lot.
And do you debate them, or you just kind of stick to the main talking points?
Well, I've got my go-to phrases, like I said to you earlier, things like it doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 2 seconds, things like that. That usually shuts them down. And I say things like, "Well, I got a job to do."
Oh,
yeah.
That helps a lot. I'm just doing my job.
Yep. Yeah.
You're the one that parked there.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to go to a debate where someone has those as the comebacks.
Yeah.
I'm just doing my job.
Yeah.
Right. I just showed up here to talk. Why are you arguing with me?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We kind of totally defang the debate.
Take this up with the church. That's what I say to them.
Yeah.
Right. If you have a problem with the signage, if it's confusing to you or you needed to park there, take that up with the church. They tell me to tow cars.
Yep.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that because for years, I always thought your service was called Tow Job. But recently, you told me it was Tow Job.
That's right.
And I thought that was awesome because it really is a Bible-based towing company.
Yep.
And it is, and it's an acknowledgement that I am putting in hardship on you.
Yes.
You're being tested in this moment.
Absolutely.
And it's on you to take that. Take that punishment that the Lord, through me, is putting onto you.
Right. And getting towed is like losing your family sometimes.
Yeah.
That's right. And if Job had a car, God would have had it towed.
And probably have his whole family inside it.
Definitely.
Well, legally, I'm not allowed to tow a vehicle that has a person inside of it.
Oh, is that true? I've wondered that.
Yeah. But sometimes I can not look. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because does that then turn it into a commercial driving situation where you're actually more like a bus driver and not a tow truck driver? I guess if you had somebody inside. It's a different license, I guess?
That has been brought up before. Usually what trumps that is it's technically kidnapping. If I am taking these people against their will from one location to another. Again, we are 17 miles away from the lot there.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, I'll tell you what, if you happen to miss it, you can YouTube it. Kirk Cameron has a wildly compelling case for Christ, and it's all by him having his hand around a regular banana, and he holds this banana in his hand, and he says, look how perfectly it's shaped to the palm of my hand. This right here is showing that we have an intelligent designer who obviously wanted wanted us to eat bananas because he said, look at how this, fits in my hand. And the way, and it's even, the part that's sticking out of my hand is turned straight up toward my mouth. The curve is perfect for eating. It
This
just,
is reminding me of heated rivalries again quite a
Oh,
bit.
really?
Yeah.
Oh no!
that
Do they
right?
talk about evolution?
Well, there's certainly some choice shots of bananas
Okay.
curving towards mouths and things like that.
Really?
Is that right?
Yeah, there's making smoothies. They're talking about extra bananas. They're holding bananas. And these aren't even these main two guys. These are a couple of other guys that are also having sex.
Really?
Oh, no.
It's all over the place. I can't get it off my mind. It's really making me think and feel a lot of things, and I'm not sure how to put words to it. My wife has made me watch romantic movies before, and I never have had given them the time of day, but something about this one's really sticking in my brain.
Yeah.
Well, what's your wife like?
I don't know.
I've never met Kathy. Kathy
she
Cracker.
stays at home. She stays at
Okay.
home. She's into homesteading. She does a lot of canning and stuff. That takes up most of her time.
Well, 6 kids. You've got to put things
Yep.
away for winter, I suppose.
Someone called her a trad wife once, but that seems like going backward from somewhere that you are. Going back, we've just never been anything but. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Well, I'll tell you what, considering the fact that you got 5 boys.
Oh, is one of those one of those is a girl?
Yeah,
Yep,
she's got
yep,
one.
that's-
He's got
really?
one girl.
Yep.
Oh, which one? Because they all look identical, but just different sizes, I guess.
Yep. She's the one that looks there. If you're going down the ramp of heights,
Okay.
there's one where it sort of plateaus. There's 2 of them that are the same height. She's the second one.
Oh, okay.
So her name's Mandy. She's the middle one.
Okay.
Got it.
But she keeps her hair just almost exactly like all the boys do.
Oh, it's exactly. I mean, the haircut, it's the same haircut.
Yeah.
It is the same haircut. My wife does that. She just gives them all the same haircut. We tend to eliminate style. We think style is a slippery slope. A haircut is a haircut. We do one haircut. She does it the one way. She likes to say she doesn't even look to see who she's giving a haircut to.
Oh, yeah.
She just makes them all the same.
Yeah. Well,
I built her some guides. You know how you used to do a bowl cut?
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We've got that, but instead of a bowl, it's a different sort. It's more shaped to a human haircut. It's sort of a helmet, like a
Oh, something you
Roman
step
helmet.
into?
Yeah.
That's right. It's got space for sideburns. It goes around the ears and comes around, and it's got a part for bangs, so she can just sort of cut around the guides there.
And is she using scissors? Because it definitely doesn't look like a scissors situation or a clippers situation. What kind of tool is that?
Well, she uses to get around there. She uses a box cutter.
Okay.
Around the edges, and then at the bangs area, she'll just use crafting shears. That's what.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
yep,
Things
yep.
that give you the crinkle cut on a paper.
Yeah.
That's what I was
She
wondering.
uses those.
Yes, like
Okay.
scrapbooking scissors.
It really does
Yeah.
look like right across the bangs on all of them. It does look
It
like
is
the
a
Charlie
zigzag.
Brown sweater.
That's right. One of those fancy cut carrots.
Yeah, exactly.
And if the neon vest doesn't give it away, when you see someone with a crinkle cut bang coming up to you that's a child anywhere between the ages of 4 and 18 in the parking lot, I tell people, you better run to your car because there's a good chance that you need to check it.
Double check. Absolutely. A carrot's also shaped for the hand, right? Just like those bananas.
Oh my goodness, I never thought of it. And I guess with this logic, anything that's sort of shaped like a long cylinder was meant to be palmed,
Yeah. Can of Coke.
Uh-huh.
Hot dog?
They're made by God for our hands. And some people, I've heard people say, well, evolution explains that because the banana needs an animal to eat it so that it can digest and spread the seeds.
Oh.
So it's built to be eaten. But I don't think that's true, right?
Well, I got to tell you, you mentioned helmet with the haircuts, and now you said spread and seed. And I got to be honest with you, Marley. it's gotten me thinking about the hockey show again. Now I'm sort of obsessing about it.
Well, how could you be thinking about the hockey show, Hallie? You've never even seen it.
Well, they wear helmets in hockey, I think, to protect their brains.
Sure, but now I guess you're just imagining a show you've never even seen.
Well, what I'm picturing, Marley, is really scaring the bejeezers out of me, to be honest with you, because I have a son, Day, and I'm going to have to take away his Netflix because if he comes across this, I'm sure it'll be something that he thinks is a good idea. And you've got 5 boys. I mean, I think you might need to, well, first, keep them out of hockey at all costs and maybe can't cancel your Netflix.
Well, again, we're not online at home, so we're not watching at home.
Good.
I watch on clips on my phone here while I'm driving around the park.
I was wondering because I wanted to ask you when you did say you're not online at home, how are you watching the Netflix? Just through clips?
I get the Wi-Fi from the church here.
Oh, right.
Hills
Great Wi-Fi in the parking lot. Yeah,
absolutely. So I do have my phone up. I have a dash cam that records all my interactions because we do get a lot of lawsuits from people who don't want to be towed and all of that. And I'm able to clip my phone into that and watch these clips of the show. I've seen the show. I'm on my 3rd watching of the show, but I spend a lot of times watching clips of it and people reacting to clips of it, people, screaming and cheering for these guys.
I hope a lot of them are throwing up.
I mean, not from what I've seen. Most people seem to think that this is good.
I just can't believe I couldn't ever watch that. I would just totally get sick.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what's the name of it again?
It's called Heated Rivalry.
Yeah. I'm just absolutely, I'm going to have to somehow, I'm just not going to remember that name even.
Heated Rivalry?
I'm just not even going to think or remember that. But in case a clip comes up, I'm going to make sure that I don't look at it or watch it or anything because I just can't even imagine watching it.
You probably don't have any interest in a romance that you're unable to speak about.
No, of course.
Because society and your culture wouldn't be okay with you doing it, like being in some sort of an organization that keeps you from being free to be yourself. You wouldn't be able to relate to a romance story that's set with that sort of a backdrop. So why would you even be interested in that?
Yeah. Well, you
Plus
do CrossFit.
Their butts are enormous.
Oh, is that right?
Why?
I think they do sort of split leg squats is probably part of what it takes to be. Have you ever seen a hockey goalie stretch their hips before a game?
No. What do they do?
Just avoid it.
Oh, no.
It is like watching half of a pornography.
Oh, no. And they play this on ESPN?
Yeah.
Oh, no. That
In
means
fact,
my husband's seen it.
I can tell you for certain that if you look up YouTube hockey goalies stretching, you can watch hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of content of just men gyrating their hips on the ice.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow, that is the evil one at work. I'll tell you. And you know what? I'm going to be honest about something, and I'll take this to the Lord in prayer afterwards, but I feel like I can be accountable with you, men of God. I've noticed when my husband, Lance Laban, is in his lazy boy watching ESPN on his phone and on 2 different TV screens, he's watching 3 different games at the same time, typically, and he has 2 phones, so he can do 4 games at the same. Anyway, I have noticed that baseball players, men, they kind of have like that bubble butt a lot of times, and it has drawn my eye. And I hit my knees right away. I hit my knees and I confess that wandering eye of mine. And you know what I worry about, Marley? If these boys are falling in love with each other after getting a puck to the head too many times, then it could happen in football because they say there's head injuries there too. What would happen to America if America's pastime, a game that I think, well, my kids tell me is mimicking war, battle and whatnot. Can you imagine if America's pastime had any of that, man-on-man love happening there? I mean, we would go to hell in a handbasket.
Well, that makes me think about the military, right? Can you imagine if there was same-sex attraction in the military?
Oh, I know.
Spending all those weeks and months together off in these tight quarters with other men.
Yeah.
You have so much in common. You have nowhere else to turn for your physical or emotional needs. Can you imagine if that started to creep in to the
No,
military?
We'd lose every war.
Oh
Guys
my
would be just
gosh.
over there kissing each other in the foxholes.
Well, I think football, that's a lot of the reason they wear those cages on their faces. It
good
really
point.
Keeps them from being able to kiss.
Oh, my heart. Well,
I guess-
also think about the locker room situation we have on our hands. I mean, if see, this is why you might want to, when Mandy gets into junior high school, she might need to grow out her hair, because if she's got short hair, some girls in a girl's locker room might get the wrong idea.
Oh, my goodness. So that's really good to think about. I'm going to bring that up with my wife.
Her hair already looks like a helmet anyway.
Now, what is it like in a ladies' locker room, Hallie? Maybe you can tell me, because for us growing up, there was a big pipe in the middle of a shower room, and it had about 6 to 8 nozzles coming out of it in all directions. So all of us boys had to stand around in a circle looking at each other, showering against, toward each other.
Yeah.
And there were about 3 or 4 of those stands. So there's 3 or 4 groups of men standing around each other, young men and boys standing around each other, making eye contact while we had to shower. Sometimes it was uncomfortable, so we turned the lights off, and then we're just a bunch of men in the dark.
Well, Marley, I can tell you exactly what happens in the ladies' locker room, and it's the same thing. Women are undressing, getting completely naked as the day they were born, showering in front of each other, all of that. And you know what? I've honestly never known the etiquette as a woman of God. I've never known, am I supposed to avert my eyes? I assume so. But, sometimes if there's a bunch of naked women standing in front of me, you just see what's there. I've noticed that when I'm looking at this one or that one, I'll even get like a feeling of a preference come up. Like, I like that. I don't like that. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, that's not for me. And I'm not sure what that is or what that means. I've always thought, well, maybe I want a rump like that. Or maybe I want a smaller back like that. Or those curvy calves. Or, a nice décolleté. And so it sounds pretty similar to what you got going on in there, except we don't turn the lights off because it would be a hazard with all the wet tile.
Wow. Yeah. Sort of imagining all the things you were describing is pretty wild. The issue that men have is, of course, sometimes if you're having those looks and you're having those peaks, sometimes there's a physically noticeable reaction that a man can have.
Oh,
Whoa,
really?
like gagging or something.
I mean? Yes, sort of like gagging, but not quite the same. More of a, not every time a man is, what's the word? This is hard in a tow truck driver's vocabulary, but I think the word is tumescent.
Oh.
Turgid,
Oh.
when a man is erect, it doesn't mean that he's attracted. Sometimes it just means, you're that area of your body needs blood flow.
Okay. Yeah. I saw.
I just want to go ahead and I'm going to say it's just a bummer that this is even a thing. And I'm sorry that it happens. But fortunately, for guys like Marley and me, we've got awesome ladies in our lives, and this stuff just doesn't even come up because, it's almost like I would say if I was in your line of work, toe jobs is better than,
blowjobs, for sure.
What? No, I don't know what is in your mind, Hallie, but what I'm saying is we've got awesome work, awesome ladies, and awesome callings. And that, fortunately, just all this other stuff, it just makes it not important. Isn't that right, Marley?
Yeah, I think it gets in the way. It certainly has decreased my productivity since I've gotten into this show. It is making it tough for me. I'm letting people stay parked for long periods of time as I'm just I just keep, cruising the lot. I won't let my kids get up in the car because I don't want them to see what's going on. Yeah, it's been a real distraction for me. I don't know what to do about it, to be honest.
I'm Holly Laurent playing Hallie Levant, and that over there, that's Greg Hess playing Gray Haas. If you would like the Mega VIP treatment and listen ad
ad-free, just go to mega.supercast.com. We would love it if you did. Become a member. Do it. It'll feel so good.
Speaking of Supercast, it's a great time to join. There's a free trial, and that is the best way to make sure that Mega keeps going. You know, you'll get your 4 to 6 episodes per month ad-free, including a behind-the-scenes podcast that we make. And really, it is the way we keep going. So please consider a Supercast membership. A very special thanks to our founding members. That's Bobby and Betty, Nana and T-Pop, Adrian O, Kristen A, and Anonymous. You know who you are. See you next time.